So in the last class, so we already completed the importance, advantages of OOPS. What are the various object-oriented principles? Okay. Under that, advantages of OOPS. What will be the advantage of treating everything as an object? That are the benefits of treating everything as an object. Advantages of object-oriented principles. So there we started list of object-oriented principles also. Okay. And also started with classes concept. We started with. So what is the use of class? What is the use of definition of class? And what is the purpose of class? Definition of class, and technically how it is available. All those things we discussed it. Now it is the time to see, to go forward. Syntax for defining a class in Python. Okay. Now let us go for syntax for defining class in Python. So we need to understand now. Syntax for defining a class in Python. Okay. Let's start with the syntax I'm writing, students. Carefully follow. To define class concept is same in almost all object-oriented programming languages. The concept or what I discussed it is almost the same in all object-oriented programming languages. But what is the difference? The syntax is going to be different. To display the class, to define the class in Python, we use the following syntax. So let us carefully understand now. Today class we need to get it that what keyword you will use to define a class? Class. We need to write in the angular bracket class name, CLS name. We need to write CLS name. So in this angular bracket, we need to substitute our name of the class. So in this place, we need to write the name of the class. Indentation we need to write. There we need to specify class level data member. Actually, class is a collection of what? Data members. Last class we already discussed it. Plus what? Methods. So if we should not go for like writing like this. We have to go in careful in writing. It's not the way of writing the syntax. So come in, ma. So there we need to write it. Data members. The thing is, we are having data members and what? Methods. Data members are of how many types? 2 types. What are those data members? I will go for one by one. Methods are of 3 types. I will go for one by one. So I'm writing in detail. Class level data members. Next, I will go for what? What is the class level data member? We will discuss in the class. Next, we'll go for DEF, instance method name of, instance method name of self comma. I'll explain all these individual terms. First, let us follow. List of formal parameters, if any. Formal params, if any. List of formal params, if any. There we will write it. Specify. I'll explain all these things. Instance data members, and performs specific operations. There I'm going to talk about it. Next, I'm going to talk about one more type of thing. What we discussed already in the class one day, concept called decorators. Do you remember that? Decorator. What is the decorator will provide? Additional processing capability to the method. Here, one decorator is there, which is a predefined. @ class method, DEF, class level method name. So I'm writing Any method want to make it as a class level method, there is one type of decorator is available at the rate class level method, class method. There I will write it CLS, list of what formal parameters, list of formal params, very important, if any, formal params, if any. There I will write it, specify class level data members, and performs common operations. What is the meaning of it? I will explain separately for you. Next, I will go for one more type of method. At the rate static method. It is also called one type of decorator. At the rate static method. There I will write it DEF, static method name. I will write it list of formal params, if any. Next, performs utility operations. Performs utility operations. These are the types of methods and data members are available. How many? This is a complete syntax of the class. So here first we will start about what? Data members in today's class. So before going to that, I'll write the heading, types of methods and types of data members. What we are discussing here, types of data members. First we will talk about it. Data members in a class. That is one thing we'll discuss. Types of methods also we'll discuss. So I'm going to write it, types of methods in a class. These things is the main agenda of today's class. So data members are there, methods are available. So let us talk about what will be the class name and everything. Let me start an example in the class. I'll talk class name, class level data members. Each and every part will be discussing. Let's start a simple example on the example part. Yesterday, what is our requirement, students? Program for storing student information. Today's class is very, very important. Student information, such as what type of data? STNO, comma what? SName, and what next? Marks. These are the things I want to store it. So how do you go for it? I can go for storing same type of values, different type of values. I can go for what? List. But a list is not going to be suitable to store number, name, marks as well. It is not able to store. Dictionary also I cannot go for it, because I want to store my own customized data, my own customized information I want to perform. So that I'll go for what? Our own class. Yesterday we have seen about importance of our concept, right or not? Importance of the class concept we have seen already. Now I'm going to introduce how to perform the operation now. It's very easy, students. Let's start class. Today I'm talking about first beginning level, class name only I will talk. Later I will come to the point. What is student? I'll say pass. What is student? Programmer defined class. Every programmer defined class is called one data type. Okay, na? Right. Once a class is defined, what is not there? Once a class is defined, what is not there? When we define a class, memory space not created for data members and methods. But whose memory space is created when we create an objects? Otherwise, your oops will become oops. Take care. And no student knows about oops. Take any Python student, even in other classes also, they will not discuss oops. Right? But when you go to the AI level, oops is very important. Class student. What is student here? Student is a class. Every class name in Python treated as what? Every class name in Python treated as what? It is here. Every class name in the data class is treated as programmer defined data type. Now, here, one class is defined, memory space will not be created at all. Now I want to store the data. How do you create the data? Create an object. How do you create an object of list? L1 is equal to what? List of. How do you create an object of set? S1 is equal to set of. Whatever we discussed, that only I am taking today. Next, D1 is equal to what here? Dict of. What is list, set, dict are called? Are called predefined classes. Are called predefined classes. Today, what is student? Programmer defined class. I want to create an object. Why you are creating an object? To store the data. Beginning days only we are discussing. Come on, how do you create? S1 is equal to student of. S1 is equal to what? Student of. What is this now? Student object creation. Student object creation. Student object creation. Student object creation. S1 is equal to student of. Student object creation. Are you following this? Now, what will be the value present in S1? In S1, there is no data present in S1, but there is a memory space is created. Inside of this object, I need to place my own data here. Object S1 is created. Inside of S1, I would like to place my data. It is having what? Some type of what? Identity also will be there. Identity also will be there. ID is nothing but how do you print it? Print of ID of what? S1, comma, ID of what? S1. See that now? Take this example as what? STUD example1.py. STUD example1.py. Go to the place. Here I am writing classes concept. So done. Done. Here I am going to write it D colon. I am going to take it Python 7 AM under oops, under classes concept I saved it. Now I need to run my code. So the program name is called what? Student example1.py. Right. Now py, my program name. What is the ID of that S1? 4352. At that ID, imagine the object now. This is my object. This is my object having some type of ID, something like 1, 2, 3. Inside of this memory, I need to place the data. One more object I will create. One more object I will create. S2 is equal to what? Student of. What creation it is? Student object creation. Easy students, try to get me quickly. How many objects are there? 2 objects. 2 objects means how many IDs are there? 2 IDs are there. 2 memory addresses are there. Now see that this is called what? S2. S2. Now you see two object addresses are there. So here this ID is different. This ID is different. So I mean to say this is called my S1 having some ID. This is called another S2. I want to place my data. I want to place my data. I will write little down. This is my S1 x1, 2, 3. There is one more type of object called S2, also called xxx 942. These are called 2 IDs. Okay, now like that I can create any number of objects of students. Now I would like to place the data inside of S1. I would like to place the data inside of what? S2. I'd like to place the data inside of S1. How do you place the data inside of S1? S1 dot, that means in S1 dot, which one you want to place? STNO. STNO is equal to what? 10. What is the value placed here? STNO is equal to 10 is placed. Your own data you are placing. S1 dot what you are placing next? Name is equal to something like RS. you are placing name is equal to RS. RS. How to place the data inside of the object, you are learning it. You need to carefully observe it. Otherwise, oops is not an easy, first of all, it is a difficult. You have to spell it out. S1 dot what first? Marks is equal to what? Something like 1.11.11. Marks is equal to what? 11.11. This is my data. And this data particularly belongs to which object? Such a type of data particularly belongs to one object are known as what? Instance data members we can call. Spell out. Instance data members we can call. What do you mean by instance data members? Instance data members are those which are particularly specific, particularly suitable for one person only. Your details of each person is called what? Instance. My details are called what? Common for all of you. Right? When I go to outside of it as a citizen, I will also have what? Particular instance. But as a faculty, my details are common for all my students or not. That is called what? Class level data members. Two types of data members are there. One is called instance data members. One more is class level data members. Instance data members are those which are specific to the particular object. Class level data members are those which are common for all the objects of which class? Same class. Are you following? What is the common value for all the students? Course name. Course name is common or not? Will you write course name again and again in every object? Suppose if you write course name every time, is it going to be a waste of memory space or not? But how many times course name should come? Only one time. That is a common for all the objects of my common CRS. I am writing. What is the value of CRS? Python, which is going to be a common for all my objects. Did you understand my point? So what is the course name here? Class level data members. What is this now? What is this now? Number, name and marks are called what? Yes. Instance data members are available in where? Object. Object level data members are called what? Instance. Simple, students. Object level data members are called instance. Common value for all the objects of same class is called what? Right. Simple. Aadhaar card number, your name, your address is called instance. Capital of India is called what? Class level data members. Are you getting? When thousands of people are opening an account in SBI of Amirpet, account number, customer name, balance, and address of the customer is going to be different. But branch name for all the customers are same or not? What is the branch name? Class level data member. Account number, customer name, balance are called. That's all. Easy, students. So that's what you spell out in the class so that you will get it. Now tell me, S1.SNO, S1.team, S1.marks are called what? That's all. Can I add the data to S2 also? Come on, how do you add it? Come on, S2 dot STNO is equal to some 20. S2 dot name is equal to what? Something like a TR. And S2 dot marks is equal to what, students? I say term 22.22. I will write it now. STNO is equal to 20. And name is equal to something like a TR. And marks is equal to something like what? 22.22. 22.22. Is it specific or common? It is a specific. So again and again, I don't want to say object level data members are what? Specific. Common value for all the objects is called what? Class level data members. So thousands of employees are working in an organization. Employee number, employee name, designation is maybe different from each employee. But company name for all the employees are same or not? So company name is class level data member. And individual details of the person is called what? Instance data member. Clarity is there? Now I will move to the further. How many types of data members are there in a class? Two types. One is instance data members, class level data members. When do you go for instance data members? for storing specific data. For storing whose memory space is created, memory space is created every time when an object is created. Right or not? Every student is having their own details. Student is called what? Object, whose details are available. Memory space for instance data members will be created every time whenever an object is created. But class level data members memory space will create how many times? One time, irrespective of number of objects are created. Will you understand? One more point. How I am accessing the instance data members? Accessing means what? How I am processing it? S1 data I am adding by writing S1 dot, S1 dot, S1 dot. Related to what object? S1. S2 dot, S2 dot, S2 dot. Related to what? If I write only STNO, is it valid or invalid? Invalid. So STNO is a specific to which object you need to specify. S1 now, S2 now, what is that? I need to go for that. Is it understandable? So I'm going to give you, in this case, now I'm going to add the data. Now I'm going to write, add the data to what? S1. Add the data to what? S1. Which data I'm adding? Instance data to S1. How do I write it? S1 dot STNO is equal to 100. S1 dot SNAME is equal to some value called ROSUM. S1 dot what, marks. Marks is equal to something like 33.33 I'm writing. Add the data to what also? S2. Add instance data to what? S2. S2 dot what, STNO is equal to 200. S2 dot what next? SNAME is equal to, I'm writing something like Travis. Now S2 dot what? Marks is equal to some 55.55 I am writing. It is known as what? S1 and S2 are what? Two objects. Can I write S3 is equal to here? S3 is equal to STNO is equal to something like 30. Can I write like this? No, because we cannot. We don't have the object. Are you able to follow? Now, see students, when I created the data, carefully follow. Again and again, repetition is not possible. S2. What is happening? S1 dot STNO you added, and the values are available or not? SNAME is equal to some value is available. Marks is equal to also value is available. You look at this, observe this now. STNO is equal to some value. SNAME is equal to some value. Marks is equal to some more value is available. Now you see student, when you are having this data, STNO is equal to something, marks is equal to something, and name is equal to something. Are you following? So here I am going to say, number, name, and then marks. These are the data which is available. So number, name, and then marks, these are available. Here I am going to say this data available like what? Key and then value. Key and then what? Value. Key and then value is available, right or not? So inside the object, our instance data member and their values are available in the form of dictionary. The object what you have created internally containing instance data members and their value in the form of what? Dictionary. So I'm going to say, open the bracket and then close the bracket. It is internally available like this. To get the object data, S1 dot, to get this data, underscore. It is a very important. How do you get the object data? By default, how do you print it? S1 dot underscore dict underscore. If you print, this entire data will be printed in the form of key comma value pair. Again, I will write, how do you write it here? S2 dot underscore dict underscore. If I write it, S2 related data will come. Will you understand? Now, moreover, it is not necessary to print it, only for you to say that beginning line number 10, what is the content of S1? S1 is also there. This is after adding the data, right or not? S1 before adding at this line, S2 before adding. What is the data present inside? Inside of S1, nothing is there. Which dictionary is there? Empty dictionary is available. I want to print. If I print S1 dot underscore underscore dict, S1 underscore underscore dict, it will give you what? It will give you this type of empty bracket. S2 dot what? Underscore underscore dict, underscore underscore, it is going to give you what? Empty. Are you following me? So I'm going to say, here I will write it, print of what? Content of what? S1 before adding the data. Before adding the data, I'm going to write it. Before adding the data, come on, what I will write, students? S1 dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore of. Next I'm writing one more kind of thing. Content of S2 before adding the data. That is called S2 dot like this. So here I'm going to write it. Here I'm going to write it. Content of S1 before adding the data. Here I'm writing content of S1. Content of S1 I'm writing. Observe, students. Content of, print of, what I'm writing now? Content of S1 after adding the data. After adding the data is equal to same thing, S1 dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore of. Careful. And next I will write it. This is one content. Now I am writing one more thing. I will write here content of S2 after adding. Content of S2 after adding. This is called S2 dot. Are you able to get my point? So this is called what type of information here? I am getting before adding what it is going to print. Before adding what it is going to print, empty. This is after adding what it is going to be, empty. And here it is going to be after adding what it is going to print, STNO colon what? 10, 100. Next is called what? SName colon what? Rosum. Next is called what? Marks. Marks colon what? 33.33. This is like this, it is printed. Are you following me? So similarly, it will be printed for other information also. What it is going to be like this is going to be printed. So I'm going to write it here. SNO is equal to 200. 200 is going to print. Next is called what? Travis. Now marks is equal to what? 55.55. 55.55. So coming to the point back, here I'm going to say, now see that carefully, observe it, execute now, PY. So come to the point of it. Before adding, you see, what is the content? Come on, fast. Empty. Whose IDs are different or not? Content of S1 after adding the data. STNO, name, and then what? Marks. Content of S2 after adding the data. Are you following me? This is called what? One way of displaying the data. Are you following? Next, another way I'm going to take up. One more way also you can print it. How do you print it another way? Now I'm writing same type of information I want to print. How do you print? See, I'm going to speed up my coding now. Are you following me? What is this now? Instance data member. Online students, are you comfortable? Content of S1. Content of S1. I'm going to give you the content here. How do you print the content of S1 here? For instance variable, instance data member name, instance variable or key comma value in where S1 dot. Come on. S1 dot items error will come. S1 dot items error will come. Items method called with respect to what? S1. S1 is an object of what? Student. Is items function present in student? No. Error will come. See the error now. First of all, I take it student example 2. మీరు చదువుకోవట్లేదు అసలు ఫస్ట్, దట్ ఇస్ ద ప్రాబ్లం. సో ఎర్రర్ విల్ కమ్. Coming to the point back, PY error. Student object has no attribute called what? Items. Error. So coming to the point back, here I am going to write it. S1 dot. That is a perfect. Ashwin Patil, perfect student. Dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore of dot what? Items. That is a way. There I will print it. Print off. What I will say? Backslash t dot format of what? K comma V. K comma V you can print it. K comma V you can print it. So here I am going to write it. Here I am going to write it. So coming to the point of it, this is my data. Empty. Later content of S1. Number, name, and then marks. ID of this one is printed. Are you able to follow? Now, are you getting next? Similarly, I want to print the content of what also? S2 object. How do you print the content of S2 object? Now I am writing it. See, content of S2, I am saying. How do you print it? S2 comma dot items. Content of S2, you see students. Content of S1, content of what? S2. Getting my point? Yes. Do you have anything in the beginning? No. What is the size of it? How do you print? Content of S1 before adding the data. I will write it if you want. And length and whose size or length is equal to. How do you write it? I will write it. Data, content of data. I'll write it. Empty will print. And I will write it here, colon. I will say here, students, dot format of S1 dot dict, comma, what I will write it, ln of S1 dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore of. I hope you are following me. What is the size? 0. Content of what? Content of this S1, S2 dot. Here I am writing S2. Now I am writing it. Now coming to the point of it. Now here, what is this now? Bracket closing. So close the bracket of it. So here I am writing. What is the length here? Empty is printed. Length is called what? 0. Length is 0. The same thing if I go for it, what is the length here? Content of S1 and the number of values is equal to. Number of values in object S1 is equal to colon. How do you write it, ma? Dot format of len of S1 dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore of. Are you able to follow? Right, close it. Similarly, I will write here also content of S2 and the number of values, how many are also printed. Number of values in S2. Now I am writing S2 dot. Now you execute it. So here, how many values are there? 3. How many values are there? 3. Clarity is there? What type of data members these are? Instance data members. Right. Now I am going to online students. Are you following? Now, further, is it clear, students? Try to respond it. I would like to move to further. Now, I will enter into next. This is called one way of printing the data. How I am printing? S1 dot underscore underscore dict. One more way of printing the data with the items method. One more way of printing the data, I am going to take it. So, now I am going to take it. See, students, content of S1, all these things I'll remove. Content of S1, see, students, I will write it. How do you print the content of S1? Easy. Now I will print it. This is my data. Content of S1. I will print the data. How do you print it? Student number, colon. How do you write it? Dot format of, quickly, S1 dot stno. How I am accessing my instance data members? Object name dot. Next I will go for what? Student name I will write it. is equal to what? S dot what again? Name. Which name? S1 dot. Similarly, I'll go for what? Marks. Student marks, I am going to take it. Marks, I am going to take it. What is this now? S1 dot what? Marks. Done. It is called which object printed? S1 object. Similarly, I will print what data? S2. Content of S2. Content of S2. Backslash T I will write for clarity purpose of the output. So here backslash T. So content of S2 students. Backslash T, backslash T, backslash T. Print the data. How do you print? S2 dot, S2 dot, and S2 dot. Whichever object belongs to that, I will write it. Are you getting me? So, listen. Now, student example 3.py. Student example 3.py. Now, coming to the point of it. Now, coming to the point of it. Py, student example 3. Am I getting the data or not? How I am printing? With respect to what? Object name dot, object name dot. So what did you understand with this entire things example? Student 1, student 2, student 3. We understand that class level data members are for common purpose. Instance data members are for what? Specific purpose. Specific purpose. Is it not called my customized operations are printed with this? STNO, name, marks. If I want, I can add any number of values to the object. So these points make you to understand that how to represent the instance data members in one way you understand it. Now, another way I will go for students. What is the another way I'm going to enter here? What is the another way I'm entering? Class level data member I want to introduce. Let me take up the same thing. Last part of the code. Let me take up the same thing. Class level data members also I will go for it. Easy students. Now observe it. Class level data members. Go to the syntax once. Chadvandi osari. Class, class name. Our example also taken what? Class, class name only I took it. And I added my data to my object. Customized data. Here also same. Class, class name. Slowly I am going to. Entering the data. Printing the data. Class, class name. Entering the instance data members. Printing the data. Now I am entering into this place. Go to the syntax ma. Class, class name. Which level data members? Right. Why do you go for class level data members? For representing common values. Whose memory space created how many times? One time. Irrespective of number of objects are created. Go to the place. Class student. Class student. Inside the class, I am writing CRS is equal to what I am writing? Python. Where I am writing the class level data member? Inside of the class definition. Inside of what class level class definition, I wrote CRS is equal to Python. But where is the data members of instance? I am adding to whom? Object. I will come to that. I'll come to that. Where first point you get the clarity here. What is here CRS is called? Here CRS is called which level data member? Class level data member. How many times I represented? One time. Suppose if we go for instance, S1 dot course, S2 dot course, S100 dot course. Is it not waste of my time writing 100 times? But how many times I am writing? Is called which level data members? Right. Class level data members are not available to object because we are not writing S1 dot, S1 dot, S1 dot. Is it a waste of time or not? To minimize my memory space, first you have to identify which are called class level data members, which are called instance data members. You see, account number and next is called customer name and balance of the customer, address of the customer, and then date of birth of the customer, branch name of the customer. And think of it. I have 1,000 customers are there with me, which I want to open the account now. Tell me account number, customer name, balance and address and date of birth of the people are different. They are specific. But branch name is So what is your programming knowledge? These three things, first four things are what? Instance data members. Branch name is what? Class level data member. This type of knowledge must come to you. That is thinking power, ante. That is a thinking way. Are you getting my point? Yes. Branch name is called which level data members? Where should I write class level data members? Inside the class itself. There are multiple ways are there. First way is called what? Where are you writing class level data members? Inside the class. Where are you writing the instance data members? Through an object we are writing. Add the instance data members to S1. Add the instance data members to S2. But where I am adding the class level data member? Inside the class. Inside the class. Okay. Now print it. Now print it. Now coming to this same point. Here you run as usual. This class level data member, by default, they are not going to come to the object. Just let me save it now. Student example 4.py. 4.py. Now I am going to run it. Py. See students, length is 0. Beginning length is 0. That means our class level data member not coming to what? Object. What are coming? Only your particular data is coming, right or not? But internally, if we want to access the class level data member, it is available like this. Diagrammatically, I am writing it. CRS, what is the value here? What is the value here? Is it available as a part of dictionary? Is it available as a part of dictionary? No. This is called what? S1 data. Number, name, marks, and everything is there. S2. S2 is another object. S2 is also containing number, name, marks. S3 is going to be also containing the same details. Like this S4 also. These are all containing specific information of every student or not. But what is common? These values are common. Would you like to allocate memory space each and every time or only one time? So what is this now? Class level data member. What these are all called what? Instance data member. This value is common for everything. You can access now. How can I access it? I can access the class level data member. With every object you can access. With every object you can access. How many ways are there? Actually 4 ways are there. Nobody knows these 4 ways. First of all, oops, they don't know. And when you are doing or not, I will tell all the 4 ways, but whether you remembered or not, that is your headache. I'll tell all the 4 ways. First international rule is accessing every class level data member with respect to what name? Class name. Accessing every class level data member by using class name. That is one rule. If you remember, you are safe. To become an expert, to become an expert, you can call with respect to CLS. What is CLS? I will tell you. You can access with respect to what? OBJ name. OBJ name. You can access with respect to self also. Self. What is self? I did not explain. What is all these things? I did not explain. Right now, you know only class name. Meantime, I will tell all the things. In my class, I will tell everything. Whether you remembered or not, it is your talent. That's all. Shall I go for now? I will access first with what name? Class name. Coming to the point back. Here I am writing. Along with the student, I want to print \T. I am writing student course. Capital letters Larasna. Student course. Dot. What is this now? Format of. Which one I want to access? CRS. How do I access? First of all, CRS is called which level data member? How do I access it? Class name. What is my class name? Student dot what? CRS. That's all. Along with this also. How many times memory space created? One time. But I can access everywhere else along with every student. Understand? Right. Come on. Execute this now. See the answer now. See that answer now. Student course Python. Student course Python. But what is the difference between number, name, and marks and number, name, and marks? Number, name, and marks are object related. CRS is called global for all objects. Of which class? Same class. Got it up? Now, I'll go to next. One more way. Accessing. Here I am writing. Accessing. What you are accessing? accessing class level data member, class level data member, class level data member with respect to what name? Class name. Accessing class level data member with respect to what name? Class name. Accessing the class level data member with respect to class name. Did you understand my point? Yes. So accessing class level data member with respect to class name. Same thing here also we are writing. Getting? One more way also is there, students, to access. What is the next way? Accessing the class level data member, because they are common for all the objects. You can call with respect to S1 also. S1 dot you can say. You can also say what? S1 dot. Accessing the class level data member with what name also? Object name also. You can access with respect to object name also. So coming to the point of it, object name. Now you see answer is same. Answer is same. 5.py. 5.py. See, now I'm going to take up 5.py. You and run this code. Dot 5.py. What is my data here? Getting the same data or not? Why we are able to access with respect to object name? It is available with every common for all the objects, so that I can access with respect to object. But it is not available with object as a memory space. Whose memory space created how many times? Only one time. But we can access with respect to every object. Getting out? Yes. So here I'm going to say, online students, did you understand this point? Now what happens? Did you understand this point? Creating the memory space for class level data members how many times? One time, irrespective of number of objects are created. Instance data members memory space is created what? Every time, because two objects are created, two objects related data I'm going to say. Specific data is object level, common data is what? Class level. Fix that is. Now, I will go for further. Up to here you understand. Now I will introduce. I said one more also for you. What is that? CLS I said, CLS. It is not the place to use CLS at this level. You will get error. You will get error, students. You see, error will come. What is that error now? CLS is not defined. You cannot use it. Way to use, how to use it, I will tell you. One more, I will use it self. Self also error. Self also error. What is self? Anybody knows? What is self? Is a keyword. And another chapter is a blunder. Everybody says that self is a keyword. Most of the faculties. Blunder that is. Go to that. And make chupiyal anya venni. Endukante if I don't show you, you will think that is a keyword. It's a blunder. Right? Let me go to the Python environment. Meek telil chala. Avanni chupichali meeku. So students are going in a wrong direction because of what? Wrong terminology, wrong concepts people are teaching. Really speaking, as on today in Python, in many of the courses, faculty will add their own spicy. Student will remember that and go into interview. What is self? Is a keyword you are saying. Not only you, outside people are saying keyword. You see, if is equal to 12, error or not? Else is equal to what? 45, error or not? Yes. Now, next, self is equal to what? 45. No error. Asal error raadu. Student akkada. Self comma what? Type of self. Type of what? Self. What is that? Int. Self is equal to what? True. What is self? Bool. Self is a keyword. Mari enduku self keyword antaru mari? Why people are saying self is a keyword? In 6 years back when I am teaching, one faculty, when I am taking breakfast, he is saying self keyword. I was unable to listen. After class is over, I called that faculty and I told, self is not a keyword. It is an implicit object. You teach like that. No, sir, I habituated to teach self is a keyword. I asked, what is the reason for it? What is the proof of your having it? And I shown this proof also. If keyword, he accepted. Okay, sir, correct. Now after self, his face was so dull. Practical I am showing. Practicals cannot be denied. He is saying one practical answer to me. Practical answer in the sense, where is your house? And my house is there at the big tree. Big tree untadi. Big tree is there. Beside the big tree, my house is there. If big tree is going when rain is coming, what you will do? That type of blind rules, if you remember now, so many problems will come. That faculty said, what is self? Sir, you see, sir. What is the class, sir? Class looking in which color, sir? That faculty said this answer to me. Mind poinda. I lost my mind there. What is class looking in which color? Come on. Blue color. Blue color. Sir, self looking in which color, sir? Come on. Blue color. Then ankunna. Class is equal to what? 45. Error. Class is a keyword. Blue color. Keyword. Self. Blue color. What happens? Giving left and right. Are you following? Print off. Self comma what? Type of self. Type of self is called what? Float. What is happening now? What is happening now? All blue color things are keywords. Huh? By thinking that type of subject, nothing will come. Practical knowledge is required. So self is not a keyword. Today you are understanding. Boys did not say, girls said that. Self keyword. Right? Let it be, because mistake is common by the student, but we should not. Well, that's what I'm saying. Website mean don't think that all of a sudden coming from the sky. Most of the websites you see, most of them, you see our notes and see the websites, check the content. Will you get all the things? Never. In Whoops you see, if you see Whoops, that website is Whoops. Really saying. That much content I'll explain. Okay, students, self is the keyword of what is self? Self is one of the implicit object. Don't worry about implicit object. I will explain. First of all, are you understanding what is instance data members? How you are accessing instance data members? Through what? Object name. You can access instance data members using self also. So, Kalyan D, I will explain. About the self, there is a lot of discussion. Kalyan D, there is a lot of discussion about the self. Today, I am not going to discuss immediately self. I'll come to the self. Within few minutes, I will come to that. Kalyan, are you okay? Now, self, what it will be referring, I will explain to you. Now, I am going to introduce types of data members. How many? Two types. One is instance data member, class level data member. Instance data members are for what? Particular. Available with what? Object. Stores which data? Specific data. How you can access? Two ways you can access. One is by using what? Object name. Object name. One more by using self also you can access. But we should not use self here. Where is self to be used? I'll explain. Very shortly I will explain. Next is called what? Class level data members. Class level data members are for what? Common purpose. Accessing with respect to what? Four ways. One international rule is class name. You are safe. Remember, if you want to become an expert, class with respect to what? Object name. CLS, self. Four ways are there. If you remember only one way, it is enough for you. You are safe. But if you go to an interview, I will also come for an interview. How many ways are there to access class level data member? You will say one way, but I'll say four ways. Interviewer will look at me only because I have more knowledge. Getting? Subject is power. Now I am going to show you one small concept, my dear students. Instead of typing that, I will show you that so that I can save some time. I can save it. Types of data members in Python. Now I am going to take up. For my satisfaction, you start reading. Types of data members in a class of Python. In a class of Python, we can define two types of data members. They are instance data members, class level data members. About what I am going to? Instance data members. Look at now. Instance data members are those whose memory space is created every time when object is created, and hence Instance data members are called object level data members. Clear up? Good. Instance data members are always used for storing which data? Specific data, particular data. In how many ways I can specify my instance data member? There are 3 ways are there. I can say like this: create an object, add the data. No, I want to tell you total picture of the subject. Instance data members can be specified in how many ways? 3 ways. By using object name. Today what I said, beginning level. What is this? S1 dot object name dot object name dot. Am I specifying the instance data members or not? By using object name. By using which methods? Instance methods. I'll start now after a few minutes. By using what also? Constructors. Constructor. Throughout the OOPS, these are the 3 ways you can specify the instance data members. Okay. Next, I will explain. First, what we have done it now through object name. Are you understanding that? Second and third, don't worry, I will explain. Second, instance data members must be accessed with respect to object name or self. Don't worry about self. I will explain self. Most of the people doesn't have the self. You did not understand self because self is not there. Ardhamainda asalu self ante? When you start your bike, push button is there, start button, that is called what? Self is there. When you press the button, not starting. When car is there, start button, not starting, that means it lost its self. Did you understand self? Are you understanding self? So, okay, come to the point. After explaining self, I will ask yourself, what is self? Are you getting self? Object name dot instance data member name. Where I used it? Object name dot instance data member name. Object name dot object name dot. Okay. What is Uma Kanti is asking? Self is an instance class. It's a blunder. You don't know and you are trying to say something. That is called what? Not Python. That is not Python. That is something else. That is something else. Don't feel it. Self dot instance data member name. What is self? Within 2 minutes, I will tell you. Pakka answer, I will tell you. Right. So, Surya, some student. Surya Verma. Construction argument, accessing argument. Okay. So you will say your own self answers. We are not going to. Yes. Tushara is saying that. Why? Tushara is my Java student. KVR products are always glittering everywhere else. Tushara is knowing Java. Java is containing this is there. This. What is this? అక్కడ కూడా కీవర్డ్ అంటాడు. ఎందుకని? అది కూడా బ్లూ లోనే ఉంటది అక్కడ. That is also there in blue. But this is not a keyword. That is an implicit object pointing to the current class object. That is equal to self here. Right, Tushara? So is Java is useful here or not? So once you know Java, Python is just like a small micro particle. Right? Okay, students. Now coming to the point of it. Class level data member, you come. Class level data members are those whose memory space created how many times? Only one time, irrespective of number of objects are created. Class level data members are always used for what data? Common data. Used for storing. Which data? Common data. Class level data members can be specified in how many ways? 2 ways. One is inside of class definition by using class level methods. One is already seen or not? Inside the class definition, you have written inside the class definition. Okay. Next, by using what? Class level methods. I'll come to that. Class level methods can be accessed with respect to class name. That is one rule I told you. We already seen it in the class. And one more is by using what? And you have seen already in the program today. And one more by using what? Self. So you don't know what is CLS and what? Self. I'll explain them perfectly. So these many class name dot CLS dot object name dot self dot. Already in our class, we accessed with respect to what? Class name we accessed it. We are accessing with respect to what? Object name. You can also use object name directly. Did you understand up to here? Now, if I go for it, data is coming. Shall I move forward? Yes. Now, last and final student. Now I am accessing. This is the data you have represented directly with static data or not? Fixed data you specified. Last and final student. Now I'm going to show you, because I don't want to leave a single part in whoops, because it is shaping your career in the industry. Come to the point of it. Student data 6.py. I want to read the data from the keyboard. I want to read the data from the keyboard. Can I? Yes. Come on now. What should I do? Int of input of enter first student enter first student number. First student number. Are you following me? Next I will take it. Enter first student name. Are you getting my point? Enter first student name. Next I am writing what here? Enter first student marks. Are you following me? Good. S1 dot like that. I will take the same thing. I will write the same thing. Here I am writing. What is this now? S2, 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 S2. Here I am writing. What is this now? Second student number. For second student number. This I am writing here what? Second student name. Second student what? Marks. I got the data. S2 dot, S2 dot, S2 dot. Content of what here? S1. Content of what again? S2. What is this now? Dynamically reading the data or not? Getting or not getting up? So getting. So I'm going to take up here. Let us start reading this data. Let us start running this data. You see. What is that? Line number? Line number? 18. Okay. Speak properly. I should listen. I should understand your voice. Okay. This one, conversion. Float of marks. Float of marks. Actually, that is also not necessary. Why? I am taking everything in the form of STR only. Not necessary. Not necessary. I don't write for second one. I don't write. It is coming everything in the form of what? STR. Second one, I don't write. First one, okay, you said. Second one, I am not writing. Let us run this code. Let us run this code now. Py 6.py 6.py IDs length is 00. IDs are that 100. Say something like what you know. Rahul. Next is called marks is called some 44.44 data. Enter the second student number 200. Now I am writing here Prashant. Marks is called something like 44.33. 339. I am entering. So 33999. Like this I am entering. What is happening? You see, this is the data. This is the data. This is coming in the form of float format. This is coming in the format of what? STR. Are you following this? So, like this, you can run the data like anything. Is it a dynamic data or not? Now, coming to the point back. Now, my question in today's session is, now I am entering into the further. Observe it carefully. This is called what? Class level data members. Everything is available. Are you perfect in types of data members? Online students? Is it clear for everybody? Types of data members, everything is clear. Now I am entering into further. I will go to another type of discussion. You observe this mechanism. How many objects I am having? 2 objects. Very careful. Now I am coming to methods. How many objects? 2 objects. How many statements I am writing to read the data? 3 statements. How many statements I am writing the data for reading the S2 also? 3 statements. Now in general, I am having 100 objects are there. 100 objects are there. 100 objects are there. Each object will take how many statements? 3 statements are available. 3 statements are available. Now 100 into what I am writing? 3. Is it not a waste of my time of writing 300 statements? 300 statements writing is waste of time. So writing 3 lines of code, writing 3 lines of code for each and every object is a waste of time. How can you reduce these lines of code? By using what? Methods, functions. Functions reduces the redundancy of the code or not? Now, functions concept will reduce the redundancy of the code. Unstructured programming languages writing the same code again and again or not? That we reduced it by using which concept? Methods. Shall I go to the next level? See students, now I am going to introduce methods. Very, very simple. Now I am going to take up. I'll remove everything. I'll remove from here to here, everything I will remove. Gone. 7.py. 7.py. Storing student data, student name by using what methods? Instance methods. Method is nothing but, don't think it is after all one method, student. Method is nothing but after all one function. Getting my point? Okay. Come on. What are you writing? Main program. What are you doing? Come on. L1 is equal to list of. L1 is equal to list of. What is the data of S1? What is the data of L1? No data, empty. How do you add the data? L1 dot append. You know this? L1 dot append of what? 12.34. 12.34. What is append? Is a function. In which class? That is appearing for what? L1. So adding this data to whom? L1. So append function is called instance method. Which method? Because beginning, if I say instance method, class level method, static method, you will get total confusion. You will feel Python is so difficult. I am adding the data to particular person or not? You see, L2 is equal to list of. I am doing what? L2 dot append of what? Something like Python I am doing. What is this now? Append function called with respect to what? L2. Append function adding to whom? So it is doing the operation on which one? L1. It is doing the operation on what? So operations are doing on particular object. It is known as which operation? Specific operation. Right or not? Specific operation. Specific operations performed by which methods? Instance method. Which methods? Similar manner, S1 is equal to what, ma? Student. S2 is equal to what again? Student. Come on. S1 dot append. Append which data? Student data. S1 dot append student data. Are you following? S1 dot append student data. To whom I am adding? S1. Next to S2 dot append student data. Are they appending common data or specific data? Specific. So I will define one function. Is it a function call or not? Function call. Now I will do what? DEF. Very careful student. What is this now? What is my function name? Append which data? Student data. Kalyan D. Carefully listen. I am coming to what? I will read the data. Which data? I will tell you how to read the data now. Right now, don't worry. Now I am coming to, when you call S1 dot append student data, it will go to which function? So in the body, I need to write the logic or not? What logic I should write it? I need to add the data to whom? S1. Yes or no? When you go for S2 dot append student data, it is coming to the same function or not? How PVM knows that to which object you are appending the data? That is an important or not? When you call first time, you are appending the data to whom? S1. How PVM knows that it is appending to S1? So PVM has to carry ID of S1 or not? What is that ID of S1 is already shown you that ID or not? PVM will carry the ID of S1 to which function? Append function stored in one of the variable called what? Self. Self. What is self contains? ID of my current object. What is my current object now? S1. PVM will carry, when PVM is going to this function, it will carry to whom I am appending the data. To whom I am appending the data? S1. S1 ID is put it in where? Self. So self is nothing but what? Implicit object. Pointing to whom? S1. Simple ma. When you are going on the way, your image is there on the road or not? What is that image? Is it a physical image of yours? No. What is that? Shadow is there or not? What is that shadow? Self of yours. What is that shadow? Implicit object of a physical person, right or not? Who are you? Physical object. For you, one more object is also there for you. What is that object? Self. Self. Simple. You will go to your friend room. You will introduce by yourself. I am so and so, you will say. Your name. And after that, I am, you will say. I am is pointing to the physical person or not? What is self now? What is self now? Self is one of the implicit object pointing to my current object. What is my current object? S1. Whose ID kept in where? Self. Now, how do you add the data? Self dot SNO is equal to writing the data. Who is pointing to self? S1. S1. Self dot what you will write now? Name. Name is equal to, you will read the data. Self dot marks, you will say reading the marks. Self contains whose object address? Current object. What is my current object? S1. It is finished. It is executed. Next, what are you calling? S2 dot. S2 dot. When it is coming, PVM will bring the ID of what? S2 and kept into where? Self. Earlier, self contains which object ID? S1. Now, which ID? S2. See, self dot I am writing SNO. What is self contains? S1 idea, S2 idea. So what is self? Is one of the implicit object containing the current class object. What is my current object here? S1. After some time, what is my current object? After some time, S3 dot. After some time, S4 dot. After some S5 dot. Are you following me? So my self contains what? Self contains what? Current class object reference. Current class object address. Kalyan D. Self refers to what? మీకు ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పిన అంతే ఇంకా. Self contains what? Current class object reference. Current class object memory address. That's all. Come on now. What is this now? First of all, you start. Append student data is a function calling with respect to what? S1. S1 is an object of which class? PVM go to which class? PVM go to which class? Student class. Looking for which method? Do you have here? No, I will write just pass here. You see, answer you see. Now, coming to the point back. Kalyan D, I hope you understand that. Kalyan D, I hope you understand this. Coming to the point back. Here, more about the self also we are going to get it. Okay, Kalyan. Still you will get more knowledge, student. Please look at that. See that error. Please read out. What is that error? Student object has no attribute called what? Append student data. Is it necessary to define or not? Please define. Come on, start. See how beautiful it is. D, Append student data of what? Self. Sir, why should I write self, sir? No, this is a formal parameter or not? But you are not passing any data here. You are not passing any data. According to our functional concept 10, 20, 30. Earlier we used to write what? A comma, B comma, C. Right or not? But it is an object-oriented programming. S1 is also going to be carried there and it is placed in the first parameter. Who is that? Self. Did you understand? So what is self contains? Current class object address, current class object reference. Still that words are not coming to you. Since I am not passing the data, no formal parameters I am passing, but my object ID is going to come. I will write what here? Self I am writing. Now I am writing. For your understanding purpose, my dear student, one beautiful address I will show you. Please look at that. For your point of time. Print reference of what? Reference or memory address. Memory address of what? S1. In which program? In main program is equal to what I am writing? ID of what? S1. Same thing. I will write it here. What I am writing? Reference or memory address of where? Which object? Current object. Current object in where? Method. Method is equal to what I will write it? Self. ID of self. Understand? Yes. So coming to that, try to run it and then observe it. Try to run it and observe it. Go to the place. See students, what is that? Is it the same or not? Same to same. What is self contains? Current class object address, current class object reference, current class object memory address. Getting students? Next, similarly, I will write it this. I'll write the same mechanism. What I am writing now? S2. S2 S2. This is called S2. S2 here. I wrote it S2. You see address carefully. Now you see. Huh? S2. S2. Any problem? No. When you go to S2 dot, it will go to once again this place or not? Again, it is going to print self, not with the S1 only. S2 it will print. Execute. See students, you see. First time, main program S1, whose reference in method? S2 reference in main method, and it is going to be that. So self is changing the current class object or not? Now, go to further. Self is a keyword of? Now, what is self? For a physical object, shadow object is called self. Don't tell this shadow object and all. Implicit object. By default, one object is there. What is that object called? Right. Is it necessary to write on the name as self directly as self only? No need. I will write my name. People will say writing self is mandatory like that. It's not. I need not to write the same name as self. I'll write caviar. No problem. I'll write caviar here. See that. In place of self, I wrote caviar. You see students, you see main program S1. S1 object address is stored in caviar. What is this? 6844. Object address 8640. Is it mandatory to write on the same name as self as self? No. What I can write? Any name I can write. But for international rules is concerned, PSF people suggested you write what? Self. They suggested. Now I can write what? Self I wrote it. Did you understand this self here? Now, come on to the point back. So, are you getting self? What is self? Self is one of the implicit object containing the current class object reference memory address. Second point, Kalyan D. Self is used as a first formal parameter in the instance method. How can I recognize it is an instance method? How can I recognize it is an instance method? Whichever is taking self as the first formal parameter, that is known as which method? Instance method. Self, right? So whichever is containing self as a first formal parameter, it is known as what? Instance method. Selfish means what? Particular. Right or not? Selfish means what? Particular. Object level operation are called what? Instance method. So instance methods deals with what operations? Object level operations. So how can I recognize it as an instance method or not? Whichever method is taking first formal parameter is what? Self, which is known as what? Instance method. Get it my point? Now, I want to read the data for this. How do you read the data now? See student, tell me what I will write it. Cheppandi. Self dot SNO. Anything is written self. I am writing the instance data members or not. Now coming to back, here I am writing a beautiful statement. I will write it. Here I am writing something like this. Enter student number. Enter student number. Next I am writing what? Self dot. Come on, next. S name. S name is equal to what? Input of student name. Input dot what? Student name. Next I am writing what? Self dot what? Marks is equal to student float of, if you want to write, you can write float of student marks. Student marks. Are you getting, students? This is for what? This is for what? Current class object. Reference I am printing for your understanding purpose. If you want, I can write it. Print of enter. What student information? First student information. For your information, for first student information. I'm just saying something like this. First student information I am saying. Then I am calling this. Enter next what information? Second student information also I am going to take it. After printing that, enter second student information. Enter second student information. Second student information I am going to say. See that carefully. Shall I run my code? Right. Take care. Now you run this code. Carefully follow me. 7. What happens? Line number 7, error. Line number 7, error. So here. Okay, students, now see carefully. Here I will say, enter. I got first ID. Same object ID is there or not? First student information. 100. Next is called Rajesh. So marks is called 22 like this. Second object data. Second object is reference is available here. Enter the student number 200. Name is called what? Naveen. Naveen I am entering. What are the marks here? Some 11.11. Now I got the data. I read the data only. Now I need to print the data or not? How do you print the data? How do you print the data? S1 dot underscore dict like. S2 dot also I can say. S2 dot also. Just on the spot if you want to print the data. On the spot if you want to print the data. See students, I will say like this. See student, I'll get it like this. Get the data. Am I getting dynamic data or not? How many times I wrote it? Only three lines I wrote it. Is it for both the objects or not? Now, I want to print the data, display the data. I want to display the data. To display the data, I wrote how many times earlier? Earlier, how many times I wrote it? See, student number 3 times, student name also 3 times. Are you following me? Now I need to write the data to print. How do you print the data? I say, this is the one I'm writing it. Careful students. Now I'm saying here, first student information, print of, what is this now? First student information. First student information. Now I'm writing, here I'm saying, how do you print it? S1 dot display STUD data. What is display STUD data? Is a method of which object? S1. S1 is an object of which class? Student class. Do you have any such method here? You'll get which error? Attribute error. I need to define or not? Define. Now I'm going to define. How do you define? You see, I am going to define. Chappalipudu, how do you write the code? DEF display student data. Which data it is calling? It is calling what? I will get it. Here I am bringing which student information now? Second student information. S2 dot. Are you able to get it? Second student data. One time calling S1 dot. One time it is calling S2 dot. How PVM knows that it is S1 or S2? Take what? Self. So self contains what? Current class object address. What is my current object right now? S1. What is my current object now? I want to print it. Go to that. I will bring this data student. I'll bring this data. See, here I will write it. Here I will write it. Here I am writing. If I write S1 dot S1 dot, what will happen? S1 data only print. Who is the representative of S1? Self of. I will write a self of. Self of. Who will write? I will write what? Self of. Are you getting? So first student information, second student information is printed. Perfect. Execute. See. Done. Enter. Number. See. I am entering like this. See my data. Is printed the data like this. Student object has no attribute called STNO. STNO. 1 minute I will see. What is my data here? SNO. What is that? SNO. Here I need to write what? SNO only. Are you following, guys? Wrong attribute. Now you run the code. See students. Number. Next. Enter the next is here 100 Rajesh like this. See the data. First student information, second student information coming or not? What is my previous content and this content now? Previously I written same lines of code 3 times. Here I reduced my code or not? What did you understand about self now? Self is called first formal parameter in the instance method. Self contains current class object. Since self is a formal parameter to be accessed inside the corresponding method body only. You cannot access in other part of the program. That's why self dot we cannot access it. We cannot write what? Self dot. Outside the program you cannot access. That is I explained in the methods already. Where I explained it? 7 AM. Functions you go. Under that syntax for defining a function. Point number 7 I explained. Point number 7 is a beautiful colorful output code. Now see. The values of formal parameters, local variables can be accessed inside the corresponding function definition only, but not possible to access outside of the program. We cannot access. Same thing. The self parameter, self-related thing can be accessed inside the same place only. We cannot access in outside. Now, today, I will take the same thing now. See. I will take it. Today I am going to show you this. Observe it. Here I am writing what? Here I am writing 8.py. 8.py. What I am taking? CRS is equal to what? Python. What is this CRS here is called? CRS is called class level data member. How I can access here? You print it. You print it. How do you access? \t student course. Student course in capital letter I am writing. Dot format of what? Come on. Format of what? Student dot what? CRS. It is an actual rule. Calling with respect to what name? Class name. That is the official rule. Execute it. Execute it. See students. Execute. .8.py. See, I will say 100 Rajesh like this. See the data. Is the student course is coming or not? How I am accessing the class level data member even here also with respect to what? Class name. You can access with respect to what? Self. See, I am writing what? Self. Class level data members can be accessed in 4 ways. Class name, object name. Who is the internal copy of our object? Self. What is that? Self.crs. Run this now. Execute now. See students, how simple it is. Run the code. Say 1000. Ramesh. Next is called what? 22.22. Next is called what, something like Travis. Number is called something like 2000. Next time writing Travis is called 55.55. Some number you enter. Am I getting or not? How I am accessing class level data member with respect to self also. Wherever object is there, behind the object internally, who is there? Self. If you forget yourself, self will become a problem. Did you remember yourself? What is self? Yes. Black t-shirt. Black shirt. Oh, stand up. What do you know about self today? Thinking something. Deeply thinking from beginning of the class. I am observing you. Actually, you are a very good student. Today you are thinking about everything outside. Correct? Problem, huh? Not feeling well? Okay. Take care. Sit up. So your friend. Take care of your friend. Not feeling well? Health problem? No? So take care. Okay? Right. No other problems now. So no other problems. What is happening in generally? Okay. So are you following this? So self is going to be called what? First formal parameter. So Jayant. So you want a Java course, please suggest the faculty who teaches like you from. Okay. Actually, I don't suggest any name. Why? Because I don't want to believe anybody else. I don't want to, because they are going on giving theory that is nowhere else useful. That's why attend all the classes, all the demos, then you decide who is teaching good programming. That is my advice. I already Java, tired in teaching Java. 23 years I almost taught. Java means I already tired in that. Already tired. So that I came to Python. So Java again going, because students are not that much to handle Java related coding. Very complicated coding. 300 lines, 400 lines of code I will write it. You see, I am used to train the Java, these students. Who is that? Job related students, LBP. I used to explain data structures through Java. Linked list you take it. Do you know linked list? Data structures, linked list. So there is a linked list program is there. Naresh linked list. Linked list is called actually data structures. How to write our own linked list? Naresh linked list code in Java. Mind blowing. Class Naresh linked list. Scanner, Java program. See how many lines of code. So see how many lines of code. With what is there? Switch case. That is called what? Switch case. Like your match case. When I taught this program now, total there people are becoming dumb. But when you go to IBM, when you go to big companies, they will ask you, write a program which work like a linked list. So this is called a subject. Coding is so perfect, you need to understand. Are you able to follow me? So almost came to the Python. Again, going back to the Java. I am not that much interested, because students' understanding power almost reducing day by day. Why? Directly people are asking in demos, what, sir, without reading notes, without practicing, only attending class, will we get the job? I said, first go out from here, I said. Because by listening all these things now, I will get some tension. All of them will become like that on it. So, like that. So coming to the point of it, are you able to follow me? Now, so this concept is called, which method I explained today? Instance method. Which method? So tomorrow class I will come back. Class level method I will explain. Static methods also I will explain. So today if you look at the syntax, I came to what? Class name, class level data member, instance method. Now you observe once again here, Types of data members, you see once. Instance data members can be specified in 3 ways. What you have seen today? Object name. One more is by using instance method. Are we specifying instance method, instance data members or not? By with what keyword? Self. Self is not a keyword, 100%. Self keyword, by mistake vachestadi adi. So if we say self keyword, you don't have the self. Self is not there. So take care by yourself. So Rushi, take class on Sunday as well. Okay. So I'll tell you when I will take Sunday class, students. Don't worry about it. One class is pending because I take one sudden holiday, that I will compensate. Okay now? So I'll take students and don't worry. Tomorrow I will go for what? Class level method, static methods I'll introduce. Tomorrow I will show you the instance method concept also for you. Thank you, students. All the best. Online students, it is 8 o'clock 57 minutes. There is no time for clarifying today to talk to you. Tomorrow I will talk to you. So today there is no talking to the online students. Take care.